out here in the woods. You know, do we have checkpoints right out here? Because I'll guarantee you there's copperheads. I'll guarantee you I'm here in Central Texas. I've killed rattlesnakes in these woods. I've killed copperheads. Out at the lake, I've killed water moccasins. Should there be TSA everywhere because 500 plus people die a year or more from poisonous snake bites, more than terrorism? This idea that we're all guilty until proven innocent. This idea that government's got to be there treating you as if you're guilty up front and groping you. Think about it. Imagine growing up, if you would have heard that in the Soviet Union, which, by the way, they didn't do this, but imagine if they would have told you, in the Soviet Union, they grope you and grab your wife's breast and grab your genitals to go to a football game. How did I know all this was coming? In my film, Martial Law, 911 Rise of the Police State, I have State and National Guard photos from their own websites where it showed them in 2003, 4, and 5 having military out groping small children at college football games in places like Alabama and searching little 3-year-olds, little play purses. This is about indoctrinating our children and turning our country into an absolute nightmare system. And they know you need to fly for business or to see grandma who's dying of cancer. They know you want to go see the overpriced football game. And so they're saying, okay, we're going to beta test and train everybody that this is okay and acceptable in these areas and then roll it out on the streets. So that's my final point here. This is all premeditated. Governor Ridge, the head of Homeland Security, almost 9 years ago, that's how I knew all this was coming, on C-SPAN said, you're going to have Homeland Security approval to have a job. Everything you do is going to be tracked. Face scanning, license plate reading. Homeland Security is going to have checkpoints all over the streets of America, shopping malls, you name it, a total takeover. Worse than any third world country, worse than North Korea. Absolute, abject oppression, unspeakably un-American, ridiculously tyrannical and oppressive. So, we've got to draw the line here, okay? They're already pushing for TSA in malls and grocery stores. They already have purchased all these big trucks they say they're going to set up on the side of the highway and make you go through. They already have federally funded, quote, no refusal blood draws without warrants. I mean, imagine the Nazis taking blood at checkpoints. They're doing it. They know foreign banks have taken over. They know that you're going to try to take the country back. So they're trying to, in the name of security, sell this soft, slow, incremental martial law. But at a point, it builds up to where it is a hardcore martial law, and we're now reaching that point. This is a psyop, plain and simple. It is so scary. Now, this is all being done so they can rob you blind. The country's bankrupt. Europe's imploding. They're announcing world government openly. They need to get this in place. And so that's why I'm here to tell you. Even if you don't go watch the overpriced football games like 16+ million Americans, what they say, 16.5 million Americans go to these stupid things. They're now admitting that there'll be 4 or 5 hours to get in with the groping. Don't be part of this ritual of corruption. Boycott it. And even if you don't go to NFL games, talk about boycotting it. Write letters to the head of the NFL. Write letters to their sponsors, most importantly, and tell them, I'm not buying jerseys. I'm not watching football. I'm not doing any of this. I'm going to go to a city council meeting and talk about liberty and freedom. Or I'm going to write my Congress people. Or I'm going to call them to talk radio. I'm going to get on the field of issues to save our republic and our society. This is why sports has become so sick, because they mix it full of all the propaganda, all the police state garbage to sell you this tyranny. And now they're going to use it to fully condition you and your children to accept tyranny. So we must boycott the National Football League, because they are expanding this takeover into every facet of our lives, including highways where we don't have a choice. They're turning the entire country into a giant prison camp, a giant re-education center. So please join me. Start your own website, send your own emails, but create a huge buzz. We are boycotting the NFL until they tell Big Sis and Homeland Security to stop using them as a conditioning end cap to roll out and launch a total TSA occupation of America as the domestic police force and the internal passport. Boycott the NFL until they reverse this, or America will be destroyed. This is a serious, hardcore, Red Dawn takeover of jackboots, and the NFL is deeply in bed with it. I will be boycotting the NFL, and I will be speaking out against it Please spread the word, do your own YouTube videos on this, and let's continue to hammer this. We're going to be doing a lot more in the next few days and weeks. They picked the NFL because they know they can always sell the tickets, and they think you're dumb, and you'll put up with anything to go be part of this garbage and watch a bunch of crackheads basically, run around on the field. Show them that your will hasn't been broken. Show them that you're not an idiot. Show them that you're not a moron. Show them that you understand what they're doing, and we can stop these people. All right, that's it. This is more rant than report. We're launching this boycott right now here on InfoWars Nightly News. Now spread the word on this, get it out to the media, and let these people know, and let these big mob boss owners of these teams that are deep in bed with the globalists know that you are not helping them destroy the spirit of America and basic human liberty. We're not even fighting to keep America free anymore. We're just fighting to not completely fall into a Soviet-style gulag. Again, I'm Alex Jones reporting for Infowars.com. Now the rest is up to you.
We've got it. This transmission is coming to you.
Waging war on corruption.
All right, you are go.
It's Alex Jones, coming to you live from the front lines of the InfoWar.
All right, Gerald Celente with us for another 30 minutes. We've got people calling from England, a little closer afield, Dallas, Texas, Canada. We're going to get to Colin, Bob, Audra, Adam, William, CT, JC, Sean, Eric, and Jason. We'll at least get to those 10 callers there with Gerald Celente of the Trends Research Institute. And Gerald didn't even want me to plug this, but I'll just say thank you, Gerald Celente, for the donation to the 2011 MoneyBomb. This gets the trolls completely in a tizzy. I mean, it's free will. We're not here forcing anybody to donate. We appreciate those that have. The government always demonizes groups and organizations and alternative media that try to actually build something because they want all of it. They want to take it from you and then use it against you. The idea of free association and what Gerald was getting into earlier, I mean, this is a victory because I remember reading years ago the big banks said under a cashless society, they'll track everything you're doing. And they'll be able to put little fees and fines everywhere, and they'll make you take automatic transfer. A lot of companies try to make their employees do that now. They're trying to they got ads demonizing cash. And now Louisiana's passed a law where you can't use cash in secondhand sales, like you're all criminals and living in a prison and can't be trusted. You know, the prisoners aren't allowed in the cell block to have cash. I mean, it's ridiculous what's being done all over the country. Hundreds of arrests and fines. Girl Scouts can't sell cookies. Kids can't have lemonade. Amish being raided. I mean, can't have a garden. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is beyond 1984 in many levels. But it shows, Gerald, what you've talked about for years. They're scared of the grassroots economy. They're scared of what you and others have talked about because they know when people stop buying from the big box stores, when people stop supporting the establishment, when people pull themselves out of the system even partially because the system is leveraged, they go down.
Yeah, that's it. And people should really understand that. They're so highly leveraged that if sales decline at a very small percentage, they start folding really fast. They can't keep it up. So that's what you saw. Again, the Bank of America example was perfect. And you mentioned about how the Gestapo, the Garden Gestapo and the rest of them out there are breaking down people for selling raw, not even selling, bartering raw milk. People holding dinners, and the Gestapo come in and want to know where they bought the food from. You know, on and on. They're screwing the little people. But here's another example, Alex. When I went down to Occupy Wall Street that day, the headline read that Citigroup was fined $285 million, you know, for one of those dirty deals. Hey, Alex, I got a great security here for you. Invest a lot of money in it. I'm telling you, it's really good. And, of course, you believe me because you've been doing business with me. Meanwhile, I know it's a lot of crap, and I'm going short on it. So they got caught, right? A measly $285 million fine for a company worth about $2.5 trillion. How many heads rolled from Citigroup? How many people got called on the carpet by those tough guys out there? Hey, where are all you tough cops out there? You know, the ones that go barging into people's houses because they thought they smelled somebody smoking a joint? Yeah, where are all you tough guys? How come you're not going after those criminals? Oh, because the bosses said, hey, don't touch them. You know the guy who was the head of Citigroup at the time, you know what his name was? Charles Prince. And I thought to myself, of course, princely treatment for the real big crooks out there. And then I love this one. Again, the white shoe boy language. Citigroup neither admitted nor denied that they screwed you. Neither admitted nor denied. But us, man, boy, you know, you have one glass of wine and they stop you at a checkpoint. They treat you like a criminal. Where are the big, tough cops that beat up co-eds and shoot canisters of tear gas into the heads of people? Where are they? Where are you guys? All you big brutes out there with a bunch of your buddies behind you. You're really tough, aren't you? How about going after the big crooks, the Goldman Sachs gang? Yeah, how about them? How about the Morgan Stanley squad? How about the J.P. Morgan Chase criminals? How come you're not going after them? You got the orders from the top. Leave the big guys alone. That's what all these protests are about. It's as simple as that. The rich are taking everything. Justice? No. It's just us. We're the only ones. The guys at the top get a free ride. Look at Congress and that House of Wieners. Remember that one he pulled off? He gets all his benefits. No tough time for these guys. Only for you and me.
Well, here's a question. Why would the New York governor get a law passed to take the property and put people that, hire prostitutes, longer prison sentences while he was a hooker-loving aficionado? I mean, what type of mental condition is that? I mean, I don't visit hookers, but I'm for, decriminalizing it because it makes it illegal, it makes it dirty, it makes it bad. I don't like it, but it's, it's freedom. That's my point, is that what type of weirdo tries to pass a bunch of laws while they're running around with, screwing hookers every day and high dollar ones? I mean, it just shows a sickness of these crooks and then expanding on that. Then he gets a TV show. Yeah. And look at the guy now, Cuomo. You have these Occupy people. They're protesting against the 1% that are getting free rides, tax benefits, breaks all across the board, and they want to raise the taxes on these people. You know what Cuomo said? I'm not going to listen to him. I'm going to do what I want. Whatever happened to this thought, public servant? Could you handle that one? These guys keep drilling into our heads. They're public servants. None of them have cleaned my toilet lately. And they don't tell you, and he goes out and says, I'm not going to do what you want me to do, even though the vast majority of you want me to do it. Because don't you know who I am? Don't you know who Daddy is? That's what the whole thing is. Harvard, Princeton, Yale, bullets, banks, and bombs. That's why I am promoting directdemocracynow.org. Let the people vote. Who is this Cuomo to say, we want to raise the taxes on the blank fines, on the diamonds, on the princes? And you say, hey, Salenti, screw you. Don't you know who I am? I'm the governor. You hired me to make these tough choices. No, Junior. We hired you to do what we want you to do. Could you get that in your head, public servant? Well, I mean, we're going to go to calls now in the 15 minutes or so we have left with Charles Salenti. Too bad time's winding down, but I'll continue with calls even after he leaves us. But look at Europe. Just 2 weeks ago, the Prime Minister of England